It's that time of the day again where we come together, 5 a.m. Men, epic men come together and start working on ourselves, becoming better and stronger, more healthy. Today is a great day. It is Monday, and ready and excited to build this legacy, this life we have, a life of breakthrough, a life of gratitude, a life of honor. I'm Carlos. We are the Amish Matchmakers. We help Amish singles find godly spouses, create epic marriages, and develop a legacy that is rooted and founded in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. How are you this morning? Hope this live broadcast finds you well as we are creating epic lives here. What are you creating? I hope you have a life that's epic, and I hope you're doing well today. We start the week off strong, right? And so this morning, as we come together, I'm going to be prepping for the week. Oh my goodness, time is of the essence. So it's like we have a lot we need to accomplish this week. I've got my when I say prep, I like to meal prep, and so I made some hamburger patties, and I'm boiling some eggs, hard boiled eggs, good protein. Love having an awesome protein diet for the week. Coffee, eggs, beef. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Mr. Ken. Thanks for joining me. So good to have you here. All right, so it's boiling. Now I gotta set a timer. So little hack for hard boiled eggs. You want the shell to come off easily? Let me give you a little hack. You take the egg, and on the flat part, not the pointy part of the egg, but it stands up, you take and crack it on the counter and then put it in the water. And then with electric stove, you get it till it's boiling, you cover it up, turn off the electric heat from it, and put a lid on it. Let it go for 10 minutes. So, hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. No, nobody's going to do that while I'm on here. Let me just manually set a timer real quick. Good old meal prep. Love it. Gives me peace knowing I have good protein for the week. I don't have to worry about trying to figure out meals all week, lunch. Sometimes I eat lunch, sometimes I don't. Where in the world is the timer on this phone? Oh, it is in that clock. There we go. All right. So let's get into this talk, shall we? I'll sit here today in my kitchen and go over this stuff. All right. So let's talk about confidence. We've talked about this before, different ways to raise your confidence. One thing that really struck me at our last Epic Intensive was watching some of our guys just step up in confidence. And the way that they did it just blew my mind. They made a decision at this Epic Intensive that we had that they were going to step up and take on the challenge of the ice challenge. We do ice baths at our events, and it was super powerful to see them step up and say, okay, I'm going to do this. And what's interesting about it is, like, one gentleman, Andrew, had just gotten married. And so life has really taken a huge change for him. He's got a wife now, and he's got 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. And so he's got 4 new people in his life that he is working with, responsible for, I guess you could, and say, and yoking up with Okay, here we go. My internet shut down, so not quite sure what happened. Good old Starlink must have jumped satellites or something or had a disruption there for a few minutes, but we're back. So here we are, back with Starlink hookup. Thanks, Starlink. Glad we're back. Okay, so talking about Andrew, who took on a whole life and three children, and now a wife, and she's okay. Well, thanks for sticking around if you're still here. I'm totally understand if you leave. Um, this internet connection has been a frustrating thing this morning. So here we go. We're out in the country in social circles. So the only internet that we have is the good old Starlink. So, all right. So we're back. And so what we're going to talk about is confidence. We started talking about Andrew, who had major changes in his life and realized he could do hard things. Now has a wife, three children, and instant family. And what a confident, strong man it would take on a family and do hard things. I always talk about that. And so one of the things that we do at our Epic Intensives is an ice bath. Literally, we have a big tub that we utilize. It's a stainless steel feeding trough or water trough, I guess, and big enough for your body to fit in there. And so we fill it with water, about three quarters, and then we just fill it full of ice. And my watch is a diver's watch, an Apple Watch is so the water, and it was reading at a so 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 I may have to reset our internet completely, which will take quite a few minutes. Guess I'll do that in a little bit. See if this will stay on. But anyways, we do ice baths, and yeah, it gets down to 44 degrees. And it's the first time he's come to a full event. The last he just got married, so he's like, okay, I can do hard things. I can do this. I can do this ice bath. And so he literally got into this ice bath. He said, I'm going first. He decided he wanted to set the standard. And the guy went 20 minutes. Now, I don't recommend this to everyone. This is not for the faint of heart. But if you want to build confidence, this is those things that will do it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about confidence doesn't just come from motivation. Confidence comes from evidence. Men become more to themselves. They can do hard when they prove things. That's the part of hard things. Small daily disciplines that train your brain and body to believe I can handle pressure. So today we are going to talk about some things that build confidence. And, I give you that extreme example of an ice bath. And don't worry, I'm not going to just throw you into the ice bath yet, but it is a very powerful process to utilize. Let's go over here as I'm meal prepping while we're talking. Let's see about these eggs. Okay. Well, looks like they're done. Now we'll put them on cold water. All right. So, yeah, now we put cold water on these guys. Oh, fogging up my glasses, yo. Trying to get all this hot water out of here. And then just run some cold water. Let them cool off. Cool them down so we can eat them today. I don't know. There's something very efficient about meal prepping. Brings me satisfaction to know that we will have some protein, some things already pre-cooked, pre-made, so we can be efficient with time, keep working, keep going, and not have to slow down to go eat. Just have the meals there with us at the office. So, anyways, let's talk about hard things. What are some hard things that you can do that will truly build your confidence? Confidence grows when you regularly do uncomfortable things or challenging things, things that require discipline. It really is a matter of building the confidence when you do these things. Psychologists call this self efficacy, belief in your ability to handle life's challenges. Confidence is built through repeated proof, not just one offs, but repeated proof. And so, one of the things we work with people on and help them to do, a practical confidence builder, is cold showers. I've been doing it for years and I often forget to talk about this, the power and benefits of cold showers. Now, you may not agree with me or think, well, what does that do? Well, let's talk about why it works. Um, Cold exposure activates the sympathetic nervous system, which increases alertness and resilience. And so, studies show that cold exposure can increase dopamine, the motivation and confidence chemical in the brain. So, y'all familiar with dopamine? Very powerful thing. And cold water can also teach the brain I can stay calm when things feel uncomfortable. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Your brain is going to begin to learn how to stay calm when you're uncomfortable. Now, why is that important? If you think about it for a minute, staying calm when you're uncomfortable is one of the biggest benefits for conflict. When you're in conflict or you find yourself upset, right? And in conflict, one of our most one of the things people often ask for in our years of teaching people about relationship and communication, confidence, communication, commitment, things that are a major part of having deep, meaningful, loving, intimate relationships. One of the number one things that we always get asked to talk about is conflict resolution. And it is important. So it's interesting though how often people don't even realize that preparation and conflict resolution becoming I don't even know how becoming, I guess, good at it, because conflict is good. When you can recognize that conflict is beneficial because of the fact that conflict is always going to be in our life one way or another. And so if you don't take it personal and you just recognize that it is a benefit without conflict, it's really hard to get stronger. But if you just realize that, like my meal prep here, my eggs, if you realize that conflict is essential to get stronger, conflict is a benefit if that's how we see it, and it will help you in your life to be able to handle conflicts and handle them well. So, with that said, how does ice bath do that? Well, it's because with an ice bath, you're uncomfortable. Or, like I said, we were just talking about showers. Sorry, cold showers. And sometimes a cold shower does feel like an ice bath when you're going from, and I do this, I go from hot water, I love hot water, very relaxing, all the way to completely cold. And in winter time and this time of year of transition, the water's pretty cold. I would still say it's probably about still 60 degrees, maybe 55, between 55 and 60. So it's not like ice cold, but it's cold. It's got especially here we have well water. So it's winter. In the winter time, it's not winter here, it's more becoming spring, but definitely the water's cold. So then when you have cold water, it makes you uncomfortable. Let's be real. I like my hot bath. I like my hot shower. When I have to get into cold, it's like, no, I don't want the cold. So then when you think about it, how you can do uncomfortable things, it does. It engages the nervous system, which increases alertness and resilience. So studies have shown that cold exposure can increase your dopamine, going back to that. And the motivation and confidence chemical in the brain is called dopamine. So cold water teaches the brain, I can stay calm when things feel uncomfortable. When you get into a conflict, an argument, AKA argument with your spouse or your girlfriend or someone you're dating, why is that? What do you think the number one cause of arguments is, or conflict in a relationship? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody with me? All right. It has to do with identity. Seriously. When your identity gets challenged, when you want to fight for your to defend yourself, you get upset because you end up feeling like you're lesser than when your identity is challenged, things that you're insecure about, things that you're lacking, maybe confidence in your life, in your identity, you end up fighting about and getting upset about. Someone accuses you of not communicating well. So then you realize, I'm not a good communicator. See, I suck. Or not um, bringing them a gift or giving them, love or connection or affection, or I mean, there's lots of things that maybe fell short on you. You left your underwear on the floor if you're married, or something you didn't clean up after yourself. You're such a slob, right? It then challenges your identity and who you are, and it is funny how then that becomes the conflict, that becomes the argument. And so if I can stay calm when things feel uncomfortable, this will transfer over to conversations that I'm having, ways that I can be in leadership when I'm in a stressful situation. How do I handle that? What do I do with that? It starts with 30 seconds of cold water, then work up to 1 to 3 minutes. And you can, I promise you, you can do it. I've done it for years and years and years. And believe me, it's still a struggle. I love my hot water to go and turn it to the right. That's where it is on our shower. Turn it to the right to plain cold. And you can hear the difference in the sound of the water. The goal is not suffering, by the way. The goal is training calm under stress. You hear me? The goal is training calm under stress. I can do hard things. So when you feel that cold and you're like, people often do that. Now I've done it so much that I just go one deep breath. And that's it. Don't have to go and catch my breath. No. It, and again, it's because I've done it for years, not just weeks or months even, but years and years now. Just go right into a cold shower. So now what does that translate into? Ice bath. And going back to Andrew, super impressed with his leadership and his taking initiative, saying, I can do hard things. And he set the standard at our Epic Intensive. Never in the history of our Epic Intensive have I had two men just go all in and go all. And it was interesting because they were the only, let's see, yeah, the other two were women. I'm like, wait, let me make sure. It was Andrew and it was Richard and one of our facilitators, and then Andrew, freshly married, and his new wife. And then we had two females who were single. So we had a very small group. And that's what we're like 4 to 10 is a good size. Four was this time, was this event, Epic Intensive, small, intimate group. And we connect on a deeper level when we have less people. And we're able to work on deeper things with less people. So it's super powerful. We love it. And so these people show up ready to go to work. And Richard and Andrew is the men that I worked with. And this is my talk for men, men's edition. So I was very proud of them, very blessed. And so Andrew gets in and he sets the tone. He sets the standard of 20 minutes. He's never done an ice bath before. And all of a sudden he gets in there, says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 20 minutes. And he did. I was actually a little concerned about him because I was like, man, this guy's never even done an ice bath. And it's ice. There's ice floating in the water. I mean, it's 40 degrees, 44, between 40 and 44 degrees. And it was amazing to see him be able to do that, not just for a few minutes, but for 20 minutes and set the standard. And it was super powerful to see him start it. And then actually we had many of the women go even over 10 minutes. Like everyone was just all in on this ice bath. And even had another woman do it 20 minutes and just super phenomenal to see that. And so if you've never done an ice bath, I check it out. It is amazing. So then we had Andrew set the standard to start it. We had, again, everyone went through, and then it came to Richard. He's our one of our legacy leaders. He and his wife have done a phenomenal job of walking this out, doing this process, and continue to do it, continue to walk it out, and continue to live it, not just walk it out, but raising their children to adopting two beautiful children. And Richard is married to Lavina, and they have Michael and Mia, their two children, and amazing little family, right? And Richard's like all in as well. He shaved off his beard, he shaved his head. He's like, okay, I'm going all in. I knew it was phenomenal to watch this man. He gets in there and he's determined. First of all, we didn't know this was going to be it, but he ended up closing it out. So the two men, one started it, one closed it out. And Richard goes for 31 minutes. And I kept checking it too, how cold it was. It was cold. And so super blessed by Richard and his leadership, Richard Yoder, and stepping it up. Never in the history of doing these ice baths have we had an attendee go for that long, 30 minutes. And man, was he on fire in the sense of he just did it, made the decision, I'm doing it, and he did it. And it ended up being the last one because at the end of his ice bath, right at minute 30, 31, it starts pouring down rain. Now, we would still do ice baths because I still had to go. It was still, and then Lavina, his wife, the two of us hadn't gone yet. And I still would have gone if it was just raining. That's not a big deal because we do the ice bath outside. But all of a sudden, it started lightning and, and thundering. We're like, probably not the wisest thing to be in a metal water tank when it's lightning. So we decided that Richard was the final one. And so we had the two men sandwich everyone else. Started with 20 minutes. A first timer's never done anything even close to that. First timers usually did 4 Maybe if they're really disciplined, 10 minutes, but 20 minutes by Andrew. And then Richard to close out the night that night with 30 minutes. It was phenomenal to see. And to see that they can do hard things and they can stay calm under pressure. And when they face obstacles, when they face problems, they're going to stay calm. So why this works? Another couple things I want to mention. We're going to keep it short today. Exercise, we did talk about this before. Why exercise works though is because, so by the way, going back to ice bath, that's the extreme portion and it does work and it is beneficial and it's good. And I recommend doing it. It will release inflammation out of the body. It will relax you overall. It's amazing what it can do for arthritis, what it can do for inflammation, what it can do for toxins in your body. It releases them. It's very, very powerful. Go do some research. Wim Hof is a powerful man who has taught many, many, many people to do ice baths and even, just crazy stuff, but beneficial. Very beneficial. You can do hard things. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise. It's amazing. And it was amazing to me that I didn't do the ice bath at this last Epic Intensive. It was because it's never been the case. I always do it. So it's kind of cool to let the other men that were here, do it and do it well. So, all right. So cold water at the end of your shower. You can do it. Seriously. It's a hard thing to do. But again, calm, training your brain to be calm under stress. Now let's talk about exercise real quick and talk about uh, three more, and then we'll be done today. Just real quickly, because I wanted to focus mainly on the ice bath and a cold shower. So you got me? Give me a thumbs up if you're watching this live, or if you're doing the replay. Give me a thumbs up, or yes, I'm going to do a cold shower as part of my doing hard things to raise my confidence. Exercise, why it works. Exercise improves confidence through several biological effects. It increases testosterone, releases endorphins, improves your posture and your energy. It really does. Research consistently shows that regular exercise improves self-image and emotional stability. Improves self-image and emotional stability. Physical strength often translates into mental strength. Physical strength often translates into mental strength. 3 simple exercises like push-ups, squats, and walking or running, even 20 minutes a day, can change your mental state. Just 20 minutes a day. Are you hearing me? Can you just go for a 20-minute walk, jog? Can you do push-ups or sit-ups or squats for 20 minutes? Marty McFly. Hey, buddy. He says, yes. All right. You're going to do cold showers. Thanks. How about exercise? I mean, there's a lot of things to throw at you. If you're just going to do cold showers, start with congratulations and well done. And by the way, since you're here, would you mind liking and subscribing to our channel? We're growing this channel, trying to get our message out to people, trying to make marriage great. We know that it's important, that marriage is a powerful thing, and it starts with dating, engagement, and then marriage, and creating an epic life and epic legacy. It's what we do. We'd love to get our message out there. So you're liking and subscribing, pausing for a minute to do that, really makes a difference for our channel. It'll allow others to see it. Plus, when we go live and create some content, you'll be notified. So now, family defense. Why it works. When a man feels capable of protecting his family, his loved ones, it creates an inner confidence. Training skills like situational awareness, self-defense, emergency response develops a protector mindset. Do you know how to respond to emergencies? Do you know how to have self-defense? Do you know how to have situational awareness? Do you back in your vehicle to be ready in case of emergency? It develops a protector mindset. Psychologically, preparedness reduces anxiety and increases confidence in high stress situations. It also activates a man's natural role as a protector. Very powerful. You want to be a protector? Learn some family defense. Learn that you can learn the proper mechanisms of punching, even to where when you are in a situation, it just becomes natural. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. for? Like, can you practice even combos? Again, it's muscle reaction. How will you react in this situation? You be able to block. You got to train for it. You got to create that muscle memory if you're going to defend your family in a hard situation. And the last one we're going to talk about real quick that's very practical is keeping daily promises. Confidence also grows when a man keeps his word to himself. Every time you complete a commitment, your brain records evidence. I follow through. This builds internal trust. This is where Epic 30 becomes very powerful. If this is the first time you're on our channel, thanks for liking and subscribing. We got all kinds of stuff where we talk about developing your confidence, communication, commitment, will. The 3 C's of love, 3 C's of intimacy will definitely increase your deeper, more meaningful relationships that can lead to dating, lead to being engaged, lead to being married and having a successful marriage and developing a legacy. So the Epic 30 is one of our processes that actually trains you to be consistent daily. Hey, thanks, by the way. Sorry about the internet stuff, but thanks for the support. Epic 30 trains daily consistency. Consistency builds confidence. So Epic 30 is our process of release, receive, give. So release things by journaling, receive wisdom from the Father, connect with the Father, and then give love and honor and blessing to others. It really is a powerful process of getting into the flow every morning, every morning. So why these activities matter for a relationship. Confidence changes how a man shows up. Confident men speak clearly, lead calmly, handle rejection better, and communicate directly. Women often feel attracted to a steady presence, not perfection. Confidence creates emotional safety. So, when you have the 3 C's of love going on, 3 C's of intimacy, these habits will build your confidence. Physical and mental strength builds your confidence. And then it helps you to communicate better. It calms your nervous system and allows you to listen more and speak clearly, even in high stress situations. The calmest person in the room in a high stress situation is usually the one that is the most developed where? Mentally. So commitment is the 3rd C of love and third C of intimacy. It's a discipline builds consistency. Your commitment comes from consistency. These qualities will strengthen your relationships. So this week, cold shower each morning. Can you do that? Can you do it? You can do it. This week, can you exercise 20 minutes? At least a walk or something to get oxygen, endorphins going, movement, push up, sit up, squats, something for 20 minutes. You got this. It's really powerful and important. And can you practice awareness and protection mindset? Can you back your car in when you park instead of, and so you're ready, emergency readiness? Do you go to a building? Do you know what the exits are, where the exits are, so that you, if you had to get out quickly and if you had an emergency, would you know where to go? Keep one promise to yourself this week. One promise, something that you wanted to do. Maybe, oh, I want to get my haircut this week, or okay, I want to go to the gym this week. What is it that you can do and keep a promise to yourself? Confidence grows through repetition. So, can you do the cold shower each morning? Can you exercise 20 minutes each day? Some kind of walk, some kind of something. Practice awareness and protection mindset. Keep one promise to yourself. These 4 things are part of practical application of what we just talked about. Confidence is built through action, not waiting. Small daily disciplines create a strong man. Strong men create strong families. We help. I'm Carlos Campos. My wife is Chantel, and we are known as the Amish Matchmakers. We help Amish singles find godly spouses, build epic marriages, and create generational legacy that is rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. If this helped you, would you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell? So as we create more of this, more people can be aware of it, hear of it, and then more people also you'll know when we go live. So let's see what this has to say. Anything good here? Um, Oh, interesting stuff. People just post interesting things on our YouTube channel when we're trying to share, and it's all good. God bless you. I hope this finds you well. I hope this was beneficial. Let me know, and we'll keep creating the best stuff we can to help you build your confidence, communication, commitment, and help you have amazing relationships and help you continue to develop your relationships. Will you do it this week? Congratulations. God bless you. Have a great week. We'll see you later. We'll be back tomorrow morning, if not sooner.